What's the most bizarre, awkward gift you've received in your life? One year my parents bought me stilts and a juggling kit for Christmas, and then a unicycle for my birthday a few months later. I had never expressed an interest in the circus or anything of the sort. I worked in a thrift store, and every day this older woman would come in and look at whatever was new and talk to me. One day she came in, handed me a small gold Turkish dagger and said, "This reminded me of you." I'm a 5 feet tall white girl person shrugging female sign. Wrote about this before, but at a birthday party in front of my family. My GF at the time gave me an illustrated journal of every time we saw each other from the first date till current. About 6 moss. Included movie ticket stubs from our first date, the receipt from Chipotle from our second date. So she must have been planning this stuff for a while. Then it got graphically awkward. Pages dedicated to us having sex had smiley face stickers. Days where we had fights had frowny face ones. One memorable entry was a page written in large text, "We tried to have sex but you couldn't." And all the while, she's sitting next to me beaming like I've just been given a winning lottery ticket. Meanwhile, the discomfort from my family was painful. My grandpa bought me a lingerie set for my 13th birthday. Our stepfamily gave me and my sister a single-used, women's size 8 skirt to share for Xmas when we were 10 and 11, and neither of us had even hit 100 pounds yet. Even my mom didn't wear that size. We were a scrawny bunch back then. We were called ungrateful when we were confused by it. A very large basket of candy that was sugar-free for diabetics, despite me not being a diabetic, but the gifter was. It was one of those decent-sized baskets too. Like $100. Never figured out why they gave me that of all things. My brother went to some flea market and decided to pick me up a little tiny sculpture of a monkey straddling a penis the size of his whole body. My mother-in-law got me an Alexis Texas fleshlight. She needed to use my computer the one day she was at our house and noticed it in my search history. I've used it plenty of times, but I still feel weird thinking of where it came from this year. I got a assorted package of nuts from Amazon from my brother as a Christmas present. When I was 9, my parents got me a ton of wilderness survival gear. Like a kit with freeze-dried food, wind-shielded lighters, thermal socks, waterproof toilet paper, everything you'd get a kid if you planned on leaving them in the wilderness. I was the one who gave the gift. When I was about 10, my mom would bring me and my brothers all to the local Dollar Tree one at a time to buy gifts for each other. I ended up buying my older brother a can of Febreze. No idea why. Paper clips wrapped in cardboard, mailed from my hometown. Mind, with a note from my mom. Thought you could use these, always thinking of us. But we do have paper clips here. On my 12th birthday, almost all the gifts I received were candles. Not received, but I found a cassette tape at Goodwill of someone playing the oboe with nature sounds and whale calls in the background and gave it to my brother. I was 14. My aunt gave me a videotape entitled Sex and Love, What's a Teenager to Do? A very religious tape I opened in front of my whole family. Also, because we drew names, it was actually from my 6-year-old cousin. An empty envelope. It had everything written on it. The name of the person who gifted it. And properly glued. My uncle kept buying me Civilization 5. He bought it for me for Christmas and my birthday. Over and over. Not a gift, but the wrapping paper said Happy Hanukkah. I'm not Jewish. They're not Jewish. A videotape rewinder for my 10th birthday. What the fuck, Dad? Half an egg box. With a plastic thing that stops your pizza box collapsing glued inside. It was from a 4-year-old and I had to act excited. Not me, but my mother. My weird and cheap sister-in-law gave her a floor register for Christmas. And not even a decorative one. Just one of those generic metal rectangles that cover the hole in the floor that lets the heat come up. She did some work on their house and I guess she had an extra one. One Christmas my mom got me SpongeBob everything. SpongeBob pillow, pajamas, stuffed animal, slippers, t-shirt, etc. All because I mentioned I thought it was a funny show. From my friend on my birthday, a homemade photo flipbook of her girlfriend and her brothers acting out a fight in Power Rangers outfits. A jackety. That's what I call it. It's a hoodie, but its upper half is more like a jacket. It's really comfortable, but it looks weird. One year for my birthday my brother got me a gift card, which isn't really unique, but the way he wrapped it certainly was. Instead of a box or bag or whatever, he bought a piñata and put my present inside of it. He shoved the gift card right up the opening in its butt. And then he duct taped it shut. That was a fun one to open. I'll definitely never forget it, lol. For a gift I gave one time, I had Gary Busey wish my girlfriend a happy birthday on video. There's a site that has a bunch of celebs that do personalized shout-outs that I got it from this year. My roommate's ex, while trying to win her back, once gave her a bag full of gifts that included both ankle weights and some of his late father's ashes. Neither of us quite knew what to do with that. My mum sent me a plastic fake trophy she bought in Vegas that said, "World's Best Son." She mailed it from Canada to Japan in a box with other tourist trinkets like leather friendship bracelets made by Mexican street kids, a little bottle of vanilla, etc. The postage had to be at least 100x the value of the crap inside. I'm not even that great of a son. So my ex gets into a car accident back in November. It's pretty bad. She ended up in the hospital till January. Now let's step back. She used my car. I left her the keys as an emergency. And this emergency was driving to her friend's house. So she destroyed my car and I wasn't even able to retrieve some important items I had in the car. Okay, whatever. Christmas time comes and she is so excited to give me my gift. Turned out she got me a GPS system, monsieur. No irony to the fact that we no longer had a car because of her accident, so it was a worthless gift. I tried not to show anger or confusion on why she was so excited. When I was 11, my uncle got me a chocolate bar already bitten into it and a can of sardines for Christmas. Half a 6-pack of whitey-tighty underwear, size 40. The other half was given to my dad, who was twice my size. Needless to say, they didn't fit my 120-pound frame. It was from my crazy aunt when I was 12 or so. I like to camp, so my aunt decided that a perfect gift for me was a portable toilet. Picture a baby walker, but instead of a comfy seat to rest your bottom, there is a 5-inch depth compartment where your brownies go. My grandma bought me a Rossborough commemorate plate when I was a little kid. It's still not worth anything. A family member wrote, Crystalla, on my birthday card instead of my name, which is not Crystalla. From then on, anytime I emailed that person, I would sign the email with my full name and my relation to that person. Example, Jane Doe, cousin. For an awkward gift. Not me, but when my brother was in the throes of puberty, my parents got him a basket of breath mints, tongue scraper, mouthwash, strong-smelling soaps and loofahs, multiple kind of deodorants with a helpful hint that you can use more than one at a time, lots of new socks and boxes, deodorized shoe inserts. He got the hint and was not pleased. Bless them, I mean they really tried. I'm not sure there's any way to tell your pubescent child they stink without them being a little bothered. It didn't help that they gave it to him in front of the rest of the family, though. I got a potato on my birthday for a potato gun that I later received. A very colorful framed portrait based on a Facebook profile picture. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome, but also bizarre considering he had only known me from working together for 3 months. My mate once gave me a toilet seat for birthday. He even had my picture superimposed on the lid as well. This was whilst I was in uni a fair few years ago. I can't remember what birthday I got this gift on, but I was a kid and I got a pair of inexplicably bright orange pants. The super skinny but elastic type. I have never been known for wearing anything flashy, let alone skinny jeans, and I am a guy and the jeans were clearly meant for a more feminine physique. It was a weird gift to receive, especially for me because this did not fit in any part of my taste at all. I wasn't salty or anything. I still accepted it, but I just never wore it. Not a single time. I think I ended up giving it away at some point, but I still wonder why someone felt that would be the ideal gift for me. My Norwegian grandma once bought me a standard t-shirt for my 13th birthday that read, Vaginatarian, in big bold letters on the front. And yes, she doesn't speak English. I wouldn't necessarily call it either of those, but it was somewhat strange in how random it was. I was working in a pre-surgery clinic. This older gentleman came in and we were having a normal conversation while I did his vitals. Just before I told him to return to the waiting room, he asked me what year I was born. Not thinking much of it, I told him, and he pulled out this big white binder and started flipping through the pages. After a few seconds, he pulled out a page and gave it to me. It was a collection of various coins from around the world dated with the year I was born. I think it was bizarre in the sense of how random his act of kindness was, and I certainly wasn't expecting to be given a part of a coin collection as a thank you. I still have it and think about it a lot. Well, I got a razor when I was 14. No signs of a beard. And a snow shovel when I was 16. It doesn't snow where I live. Someone gifted me a mayonnaise jar with a bottle of shampoo. Not gonna lie, I loved them both. My grandmother gave me a leather whip on Christmas. Asterisk, why Grammy? Why? Asterisk. Not sure if it counts, but my parents putting a ton of condoms in my suitcase for sleepaway summer school when I was 17. A man's fluoro yellow bicycle jacket. I was a 14-year-old girl. I didn't have a bike. I'm sure it's the thought that counts, but I still haven't figured it out. Christmas 2005, I opened a gift from my husband, which was an army-type Ken doll. Shirtless. with a picture of my husband's smiling face taped on the doll's head. My aunt knew I liked rocks when I was a kid. She was holding this pretty-looking rock in her hands and telling me, "Okay, JDG girl. It's very heavy, so I want you to be ready for it." So I hold my hands out to take it and I'm really excited. The damn thing was foam. Everyone else in the room thought it was funny. I went in the bathroom and cried for a while. I must have been maybe 5 or 6. Grandma got me a sports bra when I was 11. For Christmas. In front of all my family. Little brothers, uncle, grandpa. I didn't even have a real bra yet. In 8th grade we did Secret Santa. I get to school and see stuffed animals. Other gifts. Whatever. I get my gift. It's a folded piece of green construction paper. Like a card. It's written in pencil. Inside I find a dollar bill and a quarter held to the card with scotch tape. My classmate forgot about Secret Santa. I was really quiet and meek back then, so everyone felt so bad for me. But I got home and laughed my fucking ass off. It was the most hilarious, weird, sad present I'd ever got in, and I was so happy because it was genuinely the funniest thing ever. Albeit unintentionally. A guy once got me a teddy with a personalized Christmas message on it. We weren't a thing. We weren't almost a thing. Hair removal cray, monsieur. I'm bald with no body hair, so I think it was a joke. I don't remember it, but my mom said when I was 1 my great-aunt got me a giant, 6 feet tall, 100+ pound teddy bear. One Christmas at a non-prank work gift exchange, I received a Best Buy gift card with 1 cent on it. I found out when I went to Best Buy to use the card and the cashier rang up the purchase. The cashier said the only way to get 1 cent on a card was to either use all but that, or specifically purchase one with it. My grandfather is so frugal. He gave my uncle a Swiss Army knife he got as a gift from some gift shop. Only thing is, it was embossed with my grandfather's name. My uncle re-gifted it to me because I have my grandfather's name. I got a book about managing my hormones from my sister when I was 12. She said it was due to me being a bitch during a certain time of month. Years later I find out I suffer from the same illness that she does that causes us to have miserable times of the month. Life. A gift receipt for an online decorative plaque store. I could choose between one of like 20 different predefined inspirational quotes to be engraved on it, such as, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain." Cool. A coworker came back from a trip with gifts for everyone. I was new there and we weren't anything more than work acquaintances, so I didn't expect anything. They handed me a random beer koozie that was pulled out of their bag and tried to act like I was part of the gift giving. The whole thing was just extremely awkward. I could tell they weren't super fond of me but were trying to be nice. And now I'm left with this obviously used beer koozie. Thanks. My mom is friends with the landlord, and last Christmas the landlord, got me a gift. It was a magazine with like a whole bunch of random stuff in it. I do not remember what magazine it was, but like halfway through it started having advertisements for sex toys and shit like that. I didn't think she looked through the magazine before she gave it to me. When I was 12 or 13, my dad got me a radio with a hand crank for power. Like what you would use in the wilderness or after a disaster with no electricity. My dad thought it was really cool and played about with it, but don't understand it was something you'd put in a survival or earthquake hit. White elephant gift exchange at work. I pick up a gift bag that felt fairly heavy. Open it up and it's a pickle jar with 2 pickles and some juice left, and the lid was glued and taped on. Nothing else. Everyone is like, WTF. No one ever confessed, but I'm pretty sure I know who it was. Everyone else got something funny and appropriate in a $5 gift card, lol. My girlfriend gave me a pair of panties that had "cockpit, pilots only" written on them this year. This was shortly after I enrolled in the Air Force with the intent of becoming a pilot. I think she may have bought them for herself, and when she realized they were too big she gave them to me, trying to pass them off as men's bikini briefs. Or maybe she honestly thought they were men's underwear. A condolence card from my grandmother for my 12th birthday. No cash or anything. She just pulled a card out of a drawer somewhere and that was close enough. Got a penis pump last year from my aunt and uncle, but it apparently was supposed to go to someone else. I was just like, whatever, mine now. My friend gave me a pocket pussy on my 18th birthday. My parents were in attendance. A necklace made out of actual staples, from a guy at work, lol. I had a friend who stayed with us leave us a drained snake because he had a lot of body hat and clogged our downstairs shower once. Frozen Brussels sprouts. I got a Atlanta Falcons Michael Vick jersey 1 month after he was convicted of the dog charges. It was well known I'm a huge dog lover. Grandma was throwing Loki shade that birthday. Not gotten but given. My daughter was big into art when she was little. 3-ish, I believe. So we got her a pink tape dispenser for her art station. She was so proud of the thing. She told everybody about this awesome gift. She's an awesome kid. My old boss gave me a pair of her used, beat-up knockoff Dr. Martens boots and a pack of disposable Halloween paper coasters as a secret Santa gift. The boots still had dirt clods in them. I once received a knitted sock for my cock from my friend in college. Unfortunately, she was a little too flattering with the proportions, so I used it as a decoration. Sadly, I lost it during a move. For our wedding we received matching mugs that look like toilets. Strangely, we've never used them this year. This happened about 11 months ago. So, it was my 13th birthday and I invited my girlfriend over. Since we have the same birthday, we were hanging out in my room when my mom walks in. She hands us 2 small boxes wrapped in gift wrap with our names on them. Then leaves. I shit you not. We opened the boxes and in my box, there were fucking condoms, her box, a pregnancy test. There was a note in my box that said, and I quote, "Just in case, be careful. I'm too young for grandchildren." Quote. My face went so red. I walked upstairs looking like a tomato. And my mom just laughed. She told me it was a joke and handed me a knife I'd been looking at for weeks. Went on a date with a girl. She greeted me by giving me a hard-boiled egg. Uncle gave me condoms, in front of my parents. Part of me thinks he was trolling me secretly. My mom entered hospice in February of 2013 and a neighbor gave her a gift basket. But they clearly didn't look at the contents before handing it over because it was actually a tacky, erotic-themed Valentine's Day gift basket filled with stuff like lube, flavored massage oils, furry handcuffs, etc. For our first Christmas together, my ex got me a fake mustache and a manly man apron. I am a woman. My uncle's wife has never chosen very good gifts. It's like she doesn't know me at all. But this year she decided that I, the adult niece, was to get a scratch picture from the dollar store for my birthday. You know, those black things with lines on them that you have to scratch away to get a picture in metallic colors. And it was a unicorn. Attached to the gift wrap was a single acorn. Because she thought I wouldn't like that glittery stuff. Right. But a unicorn. I actually did a part of that picture out of boredom before throwing it away last week. My mill gave me a bag with my initials. Only rather than doing first, middle, last initial, she did something fancy, first, last, middle, with the center letter in a larger size. Anyway, that is the day I learned that my initials could be FFS, and now I have a bag to carry that reminds me daily. Not me, but I was a witness. Friend of the family for many years is a single, now older, black woman. She owned a hair salon that many people in my family, my mother and stepfather's family, frequented. Somehow ended up in a sort of family reunion, combined birthday celebration thing and gift exchange. Then my brother-in-law, my half-sister's husband, gave her a Confederate flag. Easily the most awkward, cringy thing I have ever witnessed. And they were completely clueless, completely missed the associations in the overtones. My Aunt Charlotte was a notoriously shitty gift giver who would pout if the giftee did not rain adequate praise upon her. For my high school grad party, she gave me a sack of used washcloths for my dorm room in college, because you can never have enough washcloths. When my mother found out I was gay, she gave me a pair of black leather pants for my birthday. The only knowledge she had of gay people was the village people, and assumed that gay guys wear leather pants. She also included a bunch of condoms and lube that were from a gag store like French ticklers and flavored warming lube that I never used. The leather pants stayed never worn in my closet until years later a friend of mine knew someone who could recycle them into something else, so I gave them to Hi Monsieur. Last Christmas, my younger brother got me a canvas painting that said, "I am a giraffe stuck in a human's body." He thought it was hilarious. He is 24. Edible underwear. Like candy necklace-shaped underwear. First Christmas with my husband's extended family. I was mortified. And #X200B. My ex-sister-in-law gave it to me when I got married to my now husband. She was out of the family not soon after. No one could stand her. We called her Thundercunt. Had to have everything her way. And always be center of attention. Had to establish alpha over me. I married the youngest of 3 brothers. She married the eldest. Good riddance. And #X200B. I think I ate them honestly. Never wore the Monsieur gift. But one Valentine, a friend gave me a rose because I know no one's gonna give you a rose, so I got you one. A box for incense. That may not sound weird, but I received IIRC 4 copies of the exact same box bought from the same shop from 4 different people. Also a best mother in the world mug when I was 10. A set of 3 plastic tablecloths. When I was in 5th grade, my girlfriend, that I hadn't ever even hung out with, got me a snakeskin thong. My GF at the time said, "Come here," took my hand and put it under her, then peed in my hand. To my surprise, She apparently thought it would only be a few drops. It was more. A few years later, after we broke up, I mentioned that event and she represented it like I had asked her to, which wasn't the case. The mother of an abusive ex got wind I liked books. She must have gone to a random bookstore and grabbed whatever off the fantasy shelf. I hardly knew her for half a year at the time, but she ended up gifting me the 7th part of a 10-part vampire hard BDSM porn series. I was 16 at the time. The gift itself wasn't awkward, but the situation certainly was. I'd been dating this guy for a little over 2 months, and I broke up with him a few weeks before Christmas. Turns out, he had bought me custom-designed Converse for a Christmas gift. He had to send them to me anyway after we broke up. It was uncomfortable. I still have no idea why he decided that giving a gift like that after 2 months of dating was a good idea. A male customer of mine who I barely knew gave me cologne for Christmas. A bag of flour mixed with salt and sugar to look like cocaine. It was from my boyfriend's mom cause I jokingly asked for some coke for Christmas. A crude ceramic representation of what Will Smith would look like if he was white. My brother and I got scarves from one of my parents' friends who knew full well we lived in Los Angeles. It never got cool enough to need a scarf in Los Angeles. Snow mittens made from lamb's leather with real wool on the inside. This was for my birthday in November. In South Africa. In the summer. In the winter it never really gets that cold. I've only seen snow once in my life. I was really into the Addams Family in the early 90s. Especially when the first movie came out. In Christmas of '91, Uncle Pete gifted me this awesome Cousin-It doll. It was homemade out of a potato. It was my favorite gift of the year. The hairs were pretty grisly though. They seemed more coarse than the hairs Cousin-It would have. Anyways, I loved that gift, until my parents took it away for some reason. One of my family members once got me a small wheel of brie cheese for Christmas. I can't eat dairy. A number of years ago, a friend at the time gave me an apron with the Jack Daniel's logo on it. I didn't drink at the time and he worked at a liquor store. So it was clearly swag from a brand representative or something. Joke's on me though, wish I still had it. My mother gave me a towel for Christmas once. Mind you, Mountain Birthday is also on Christmas Day. And she didn't give me anything else. I think I was 14. My boyfriend's oddball friend who still gets my name wrong after knowing him for 5 years gave me a shiwi. It wasn't even my birthday. I don't personally remember this all too well, but my mom talks about it a lot. When I was about 6 years old, my aunt bought me a pair of enormous crocodile leather, light brown pointed shoes. She said they were dress shoes that I was supposed to grow into. I'm an adult male of about average height. Honestly, about as good as one would expect with both my parents being short, which she knew going in. They're several sizes too long and about one size too narrow for my feet. You'd have to be a literal elf. I got a diary for a Secret Santa gift. This diary had flowers on it. I'm a guy. Edit. I'm just one of those guys who don't prefer flowers. Probably should have mentioned that. Anyone who likes flowers are cool though. Edit 2. Don't downvote the guys who commented here please. My office had an Xmas party and Secret Santa. A female coworker received chewing tobacco. That was kinda funny. She was upset the whole night. Someone thought it was a good idea to give my brother a cake with carrots all around as a gift. Yes, carrots. I spent a couple of hours walking around malls and couldn't find anything for my ex. Was kinda frustrated and sad cause I know she'd get me at least something. Some local holiday before Christmas where people sometimes give each other small gifts. So I finally grabbed something which I thought was some skincare stuff or whatever. Like a lotion you'd put on you after a shower or whatever. I ended up buying her a peeling for like middle-aged women. IDK what happened there really. Luckily got some sweets too. She was cool with it. Had a good laugh. She ended up giving it to her mom for the very same holidays. Carrot wasn't carrot carrot the carrot reason carrot we carrot broke carrot up. One Christmas when I was about 13, one of my mom's friends bought me a pair of novelty Christmas underwear and joked about me modeling them for her. Given to me in front of both families and no big deal apparently. My older brother got a chess set. My very wealthy grandmother would send my sister and I checks in the mail for Christmas and our birthdays. Except they wouldn't be sent anywhere near the right dates and would be for random amounts like $2.57 or less. My boyfriend and I got together like maybe a month or two before my birthday, and he didn't really know too much about me. So he got me a series of very strange things for my birthday. My birthday was in September. Two Christmas ornaments. Both of them were sort of adjacently relevant to me but very much strange to get in September. A Fortnite rubber stamp because I one time mentioned a child at work taught me a Fortnite dance. I don't know what character it is, and it remains unopened as a fun novelty desk ite monsieur. A stuffed alligator. A bag of glow-in-the-dark Kit Kats that didn't even glow. But he's the best though otherwise, and now that we've been together a bit, is a lot better in the gift-giving department. Not me, but I used to have this friend who was mixed, and when we were teenagers my mom decided to give him this African soldier statue thing thinking it was a genuine gift, but in reality it was a little racist. A hot pink sheer teddy. The lingerie teddy. From my grandpa. We chalked it up to the Alzheimer's because apparently he was publicly very excited to hear how I enjoyed it. My dad put a can of cat food in my bagged lunch once. Play money when I was 13. I know this will probably get buried, but turtlenecks for a year. My godfather just kept sending me turtlenecks every month for a whole year after Christmas. Then gave me another one at Christmas. About 18 years ago I was given the gift of life. I'm still trying to figure out its purpose. A relative gifted me a bra on my graduation party. It's not even my size. When I was a 17-year-old boy, dating my now wife, her mother gave me a mug for Christmas that said, "Boys will be toys." It was a little awkward. And #X200B. I think she thought it said, "Boys and their toys," but we just let it slide. In high school, I got a thong from my ex-boyfriend and his then-girlfriend. My mother got me a vibrator for my 16th birthday. A dildo. I'm a male, and I'm not gay, it was a joke but still. A nondescript jar of olives from a former boss. I am not an olive fan. Had never discussed liking olives. and there was nothing particularly special about these olives. It was very awkward opening it in front of everyone and trying to formulate an appropriate reaction. 2. Olives. I went to my aunt's house on Christmas a few years ago. I guess they weren't planning on me being there, so they didn't have a gift for me. No big deal. Later on, she hands me a gift out of nowhere. It was a bottle of Poo-Pourri air freshener, which I had seen sitting on the back of the toilet in the bathroom earlier. Not mine, but my mom once got everything she's gifted her dad given back to her. Apparently he didn't want any of it and just gave it all back to her on her birthday. A Bill O'Reilly book. For context, I'm pretty far left-wing, and this was not a gag gift. My aunt bought my brother a paint-your-own wooden car for ages 4 to 6 for Xmas. He was a 32-year-old graduate in full-time employment at the time, and the look of utter confusion on his face still makes me laugh all the time. It wasn't even a joke. She just nodded, smiled and said, "You like models." He doesn't. My dad once sent me shoes for my birthday. Not a bad gift. I wore them this year, but they showed up 2 weeks after my birthday. And in the card my dad wrote, "Bought these sneakers off Amazon. And they didn't fit. Happy birthday, son." Anyway, that day I learned that dad's sneakers are probably the most comfy sneakers to wear. It was a sockless sock. AC/DC socks. Gonorrhea. A year's worth of socks whose mates were lost in the dryer. Not a gift, but my brother likes misspelling my name and he wrote Corey, so he dotted every part of the Y on a gift to me last year. My name is Corey. A partner, at the time, had a custom-molded vagina of hers for me to have, in case I was lonely when she traveled. I don't know what happened to it. Or her. Pretty real looking. I was overweight my whole life. Until college, where I worked really hard and got down to a healthy weight. My parents were very supportive and proud of me. I was really serious about my healthy eating. Then for the holidays, my mom got me a large gift card to Chili's, which, back then, didn't have much of those lighter options meal. It was all super heavy food. To top it off, I didn't have my car up at school at that point, and the only Chili's was far enough away that I would have to drive to get there. It was really awkward for me because I had to act excited about a random gift that kind of flew in the face of my hard work and was basically useless to me. Framed photo of my penis. Waterproof toilet paper. How is that supposed to work? Not me, but my sister once received a dildo, amongst other sex toys, from our great-uncle because he believed she should be abstinent and was being unchristian for premarital sex. Literally the most awkward time for everyone. I didn't receive this. I was on the other end of this one. I was a little manic. I'm bipolar, and thought it would be a good idea to give my sister, who's a big Doctor Who fan, the Blu-ray of Doctor Who, which is exactly what it sounds like, Doctor Who-themed porn, which she opened at our family Christmas, in front of our parents. My husband's uncle gave us a used copy of Masters and Johnson on Sex and Human Loving for our first Christmas. Not just a book on sex. A used book on sex. Had a homeless guy crash our wedding reception to give us a broken scientific calculator. Told us it had GPS. ex-boyfriend went to New York and brought me a small book about an Instagram famous dog that I'd never heard of. I am a cat person and I had asked him for a magnet with the Empire State Building on it. I wasn't mad or anything. Just very confused. I think it's still somewhere around my mom's house. My BRTH. I have a trophy for being born. Hentai. Noob at 15. My mother gave me a pack of Rogaine and told me she hoped it would improve my confidence. I was like 23 at the time. A friend gave my girlfriend and I a copy of Roadhouse, mentioning something about how he knows how much we've wanted to see it after our last conversation. I've never mentioned or thought about Roadhouse in my life. I have no idea how he thought that. Once, I had received a water bottle as a gift. The person that gave me the water bottle poured their heart and soul into writing the card. For a damn water bottle. I received this 4-pack of small mugs on a little wire stand from my husband's GMA. I acted all surprised and thankful, but when we got home my husband asked me why the heck I liked the mugs so much. With the stand, they are too tall to fit on our counter and only work on the top shelf of our pantry, so they never get used. First it started off with my friends making me a dick cake on my 19th birthday. They brought it and opened it in front of my family and older relatives. Then as I started unpacking presents and there was massage wand. I opened it thinking it would be for my muscles. Even my family tried it out on their backs. My friends started laughing and said, "That's for your kitty. Whoever had it last dropped it so quick." When I was 15 I got a shop-sized mechanics toolbox. My parents thought that since I took one shop class that's what I wanted to do with my life. Meanwhile I just wanted to grind COD 24/7. Love them for trying, but damn was that an awkward Christmas morning. Not me, but a friend of mine got a fire extinguisher when she turned 18 as a gift from a friend. She also got soap bubbles and batteries from 2 of the other guys. We were going to meet up and eat dinner together to celebrate her, and then the folks in the group who were 18 would go to a club. The guys had thought one step ahead and wanted to make it awkward at the entrance of the club. So they got her a fire extinguisher, soap bubbles and batteries. My little cousin bought me a, not lewd, Hatsune Miku body pillow for Christmas last year, and presented it to the whole family. We went to a family brunch on a Saturday morning and my aunt had gotten me a small gift. The day or two before we had all gone to the beach. In short, I got fairly pale skin and fairly dark hair, and I'm generally lazy when it comes to shaving. So my aunt got me one of those lipstick tube-sized electric razors. She then proceeds to mime where it would be useful, including her bikini line in the middle of a CROWSED brunch hour restaurant. Handy. Totally. Great for last-minute moustache and chin touch-ups. But the real awkward part was the demo in the restaurant. It's not a big deal, but last year I went on hiking with my mom and we found a decent motel, where strange but kinda old man gave me a small cone. Actually, he insisted on me taking it. I took it and thanked. Then he walked away. I don't know. It just felt weird. I still have this cone on my shelf. Bill sent me several miscellaneous computer parts. Things like CPU fans, hard drive brackets, internal cables, etc. It was as if he just reached into a drawer full of miscellaneous old PC parts and sent me whatever. He grabbed a Malcolm X t-shirt on Christmas when I was in 5th grade. I wore it to class. I've always wondered what my teacher thought seeing a 5th grade Asian kid wearing a Malcolm X t-shirt. My parents got me a suitcase for Christmas one year. I was 13. Your monsieur, subtle, ? My very eclectic aunt used to only buy gifts for us from Sky Mall, somehow, despite her lack of flying. Anyway, one year she bought me a slumber sack, which is essentially a onesie without legs. Imagine a 5-foot-tall pillowcase with arms and feet holes, and that's basically what it was. My cousin received Victoria's Secret underwear for her high school graduation from a grown man, his mail-order bride, and his lesbian stepdaughter. Neighbors. It was like 7 and they were all thongs LMAO. We did a gift exchange when I worked at Domino's. We were a bunch of friends, so it was a pretty easy, fun job. When it came time for me to open my gift, my buddy, co-worker tosses me a present and says, "Just before you open it, just know we all think you're a douchebag." And #X200B. It was a douche. We took shots out of it all night. My mother gave me acne cream for the holidays. Could you literally not find a better time to gift a person acne cream, monsieur? This has to trend IMO. Great question. My answer is a sentimental Christian plaque from my grandmother after recently announcing that I was an atheist. Had a girlfriend once give me a large, as in about 2 feet tall, porcelain doll because it had the same color hair as she did and it happened to have her same name. She said she gave it to me so that it was like she was always with near me. I smiled and thanked her. Then that thing sat in my closet for years until I gave it to a little girl my mother knew. I got a hentai of Dojo fully printed as a 10th anniversary gift of the anime club. When I was a freshman in high school, there was a girl who I was kind of friends with, but she had a huge crush on me, so generally I didn't spend a ton of time with her. Anyway, one Christmas she got me an eggplant. That wasn't the weirdest part of the gift though. Along with it came a semi-erotic calendar of the next year. It doesn't stop there though. She had drawn on each of the pictures of the half-naked women with a Sharpie. Each woman was defaced in their own way. It was very strange. For my sweet 16, my mom had my birth video converted to DVD and gifted it to me in front of friends and family. I still haven't seen it. My friend gave me a potato once. My grandma gave my sister and I pepper spray for Christmas last year. * for college. * Deodorant. Note: I had always wanted one of these but never from my grandmother. She is very poor and barely eats so she can spoil us. So my grandmother got me a Hatchimal and at first I was ecstatic. I had always wanted one. But then I remembered how poor grandma is and how expensive Hatchimals are. They cost $100 or more. I felt so bad for grandma but knew she would be heartbroken if I didn't accept it. She is too pure to make sad. So I accepted it and I still feel bad about it to this day. I think the weirdest gift I've ever gotten is a weird-look rip-off Game Boy which is not even electronic and has a button which you press to bounce the bubbles and basically get them as a wide basketball basket look and thing. Pretty weird. Used books on tape for a 4-year-old. It was iPod days at this point. I was 15 and more than capable of reading on my own at that point. I was far above my grade level at that point. Super awkward, but I was still thankful nonetheless. The gifter wasn't well off financially and had severe mental health issues. Ended up donating them to Salvation Army. Awkward. Got a pencil case from my aunt when I was like 16 to 17. It said, "Best Friends," on the cover.